Hey everybody, sorry. Let me make sure I'm live. I'm sorry about that. Let me just double check. Is it working? Sorry. Let me make sure I'm live. Okay, it's working. Good grief. Sorry everybody. Sorry about all that. Hold on. I got to tweak everything now. Good grief. I really am sorry that I had to do that. Give me a second. Let me... Yeah. Okay. Let me just real quick announce to everybody what just happened. I had to cancel the stream and bring it back. So now I have to create a new link. And everything's broken. So bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. All right. What is going on here? Why is... Alright, I'm just making sure. Hold on, I'm just fixing everything. I think it's working. Okay, yeah, it's working. Sorry, everybody. I apologize. I apologize for the mishap there. I had to close the stream, reopen it, hold the debacle. Hold the debacle there. My fault. Fixing it all now. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Sorry that I had to do that. I'm still fixing a couple of things. It was my bad. I totally messed something up. It's just, but it should be pretty much good now. Good grief. I am gonna go over the trades again. I know it's annoying, but I am gonna go over the trades again just because when people come back and watch this later, they're going to need to hear about the trades. Is the chart lagging? I don't know. I'll refresh it. Here, let me reload the data. I'll reload the data real quick while I get everything else fixed. So let it reload, and then let me let everybody know. All right. Let me go back over the trades and just kind of reiterate some of the stuff. I'm just going to wait and make sure that everyone's here. I just refreshed the data. I doubt the chart is lagging. It's probably just YouTube. YouTube always has a delay. It's like, it's always, even though I'm live streaming, it's always behind. Like at the time, like if you look at the timestamp at the top of my screen, like at the time that I'm reading this, it's at 9:40 a.m. and 35 seconds. But it's probably like at the time that you're seeing this, it's probably like 20 or 30 seconds delayed because that's just how it works with live streaming for some reason. Yeah. Okay, let me just look here. Yeah, back in business. Sorry, everybody. Full disclosure, the reason I had to close that was I accidentally was doxing myself. It was a total mistake. I should have, it was, so I had to, luckily I canceled it, but that's how it goes. Anyway, I opened up a chart and then it pulled up like personal information that shouldn't have been there. So it's fine, but I had to like fix it or whatever. Okay. So if you're here, definitely smash up the likes, because now we are way behind and we lost a bunch of viewers. So smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and I'll tell you what happened today. So I was saying this earlier, I didn't take any trades today because oh, Jarvis, how do I get the timestamp? It's on the indicators. It's on the indicator package that you have access to, right? Are you using the indicator package? You should be. Yeah, it's built into the toolbar. Here, look, I'll show you. Indicators. It's built into the Freedom toolbar that you have access to if you're a school member. So it's just built into that. Yeah, I think it's just on by default. Checking here. Yeah, I think it's just on by default. So yeah. All right. So what I was saying earlier, I didn't take any trades today, even though there was a lot of setups, and there's some ones that I spotted that were good, and it's because I was distracted by all of my kids trying to miss school, saying that they were all sick, even though they weren't. So I had to jet from the chart several times, and I just was thrown off. I was arguing with the kids, trying to get them to get ready. I eventually got them all to school, but it was a whole thing, and it just kind of threw me off, and I just was off my game. I wasn't really focused on the chart as much. I was getting distracted, so I stayed out. What do you mean, Jarvis? You'll look for the box. What is that? I have no idea what that even means. All right, anyway, coming down, we had this down channel this morning, close outside, new low, but there was a little bit of a wider channel, close outside, new low. So in there, early on, we had these trade setups. We had basically a double bottom here and a first entry, second entry short, visual second entry short, if you treat that like a double bottom. Then we get a triple test off the highs of this range. We kind of get a triple test off the lows. It's also a second entry long. Not ideal, because you're still expecting a new low. And then it kind of runs down. And then later we get a second entry short. Not perfect. A lower high would have been better, because you don't know for sure here that it's not going to go all the way to the other side of the trend channel, especially with how sideways it is right there. It ends up, and then I don't see any good trade setups in here. I'm sorry, I'm going through these quick because I already went over them before, but that's just because I had to close the stream and restart it. So I apologize, but just how it is. So then this comes down and this comes up. We get a move up. And then we run sideways here. There's kind of a triple test there, but we're grinding higher, so I don't like it. And then we do come off the highs of this channel, and there's a second entry short here. Lower high. It's not perfect because you don't know for sure this flat channel is really going to be in play, but it's decent. You might get a new low here. You might go down. It's been a bearish day. And now there's a really nice one here. Why did this move on me? All right. You have this down here, first entry, second entry short. It's basically two legs back to the EMA and the trend line. Really nice one. Then you get a second entry short here, but it's a close outside. It's not the best signal bar. But when you get the lower high there, that's like a nice little trap. Because people tried to go long on this higher low, and they get trapped. So I like those. Yellow arrow trades are trades that I do take sometimes. They are still good setups, but they're just not perfect. And when they're yellow arrow, I say that they're not like a sure thing. They're more like a, 80% chance that it's going to work, maybe 90%. The red arrow shorts or green arrow longs are like really good, like A+ setups that like are pretty much like 99% chance that it's going to work for you. Obviously, you can't have a 100% chance of anything, but you get the idea. This runs down to a new low. First entry, second entry short, no signal bar. And then this is all flat. There's a triple test there, but not a good signal bar. Finally, we come up here, close outside new high, and then we're kind of looking like maybe we're going to go bearish again. So we just got to wait for a good setup. I don't see any good setups yet after that, but that's what it looks like. We can draw a short-term up channel here. Got to respect this possibility here. There's a first entry short forming right now. So second entry short could be in play, but it's just the way this is looking is so sideways. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So sorry that I went through that so fast. It's because I already went over everything, and now I'm going over it a second time. That's my bad, everybody. That's my bad. All right, let me just check something. This time I am going to block my screen so that I don't accidentally pull up information that shouldn't be there. Let me see. All right. Sorry, just double checking a few things. Okay. Okay. Good grief. All right. So let's pull up the now that I'm not doxed. Let me pull this up. Okay. So real quick, I'll answer your question in just a second. So real quick, this is the daily ES chart. And if you look, we had this up channel. We got a close outside. And we got 2 legs to a new high. Really, it's almost like 3, but we made a new high, and now we're reversing. So the reality is, what we have here is something like this. We basically have a close outside, new high, and a reversal. And so on the daily chart of the ES, we're in a downtrend from the highs. And there's no break and move to a new low or anything yet. So this downtrend is still very much in play. And we have to respect it. We have to respect it until it tells us otherwise. So for now, just respect the fact that the daily chart is in a downtrend. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be longs and stuff. But this is where we're at. We're below the 21 EMA. We're coming down. Pretty high likely scenario that we find maybe a triple test area down here. That's an area that will probably bounce because we bounced there a few times. So that would be my first target as we come down, is possible bounce there. It corresponds pretty well with the previous all-time high before we ran up again. So that might happen. That's what I'm looking for. So that's 65, 95, 25. So call it just under 6,600 is a pretty good target for the ES right now if we keep going lower. So I just wanted to bring that up, show that to everybody. That's where we're at. Okay, Rage. How do I get a midline? Well, these drawings are part of the Freedom Tools, which is part of the subscription that you have access to when you join the Freedom Algo school community. So if you want to see that, it's here. If you go to the Freedom Algo school community, it's here. Here's the about page. You can join here. It's $99 a month, but there's a free 7-day trial. After your trial ends and you're a full member, you get access to the Freedom Algo Ninja Trader Toolkit and indicators. It's all part of the package that you get, and that gives you those drawing tools and everything that is on my chart, plus some more stuff too. So definitely check that out if you want like the full details of that. But you can also use the regular trend channel drawing in NinjaTrader, which is a different style of drawing, and you can create levels on it, and you can create a 50% level, and that will give you pretty much what you need to give you a midline. So that's another way to do it, but those channels aren't as good as the drawings that are in here. Just letting you know that. Yeah, John, I gave you that one support level that I think will come down to, which is about 65.95, something like that. We'll see, though. We'll see. All right, so the bearish trend is staying in play here overall. So you got to respect it. Got to respect it. We can maybe draw from this lower high and just see if maybe we have like a channel that kind of looks like this, like a little tighter channel here. Possibility. We'll see if that holds. I don't know. Possibility. Yeah, I think so, Sean. The tools are really good. And I just came out with the new version. Literally today, version 1.2 of the tools that makes the second entry leg counter really, really good. All right, let me take a look here. If you got questions, put them in the chat. I have to look at something on my other screen for a second because I think I'm still having a couple of weird things here. Let me double check. Make sure that, because I had to like really, really quickly. Okay, let's do. Chris, good to have you here. Good to have you here. Let me see. So you're asking, what am I looking for? That's a big question, right? There's a lot that I do. I'm a price action trader. So I'm looking at the 2000 tick ES chart. And I went over all the trades earlier that I saw for the day so far. Right now, I'm looking for maybe second entry shorts off of these areas. We actually look like we might get one here. So I'm looking for second entry shorts. And it looks like we're actually going to get one, possibly here. I'm looking for it to go. I'm not really looking for longs because we're in an overall bearish trend. But I am looking for second entry shorts, triple test, different setups. Depends. Off the key entry points. Right now, we're at the EMA, which is a minor key entry point. Not quite back to this trend line I drew, but we're almost back to it. So let's wait here. We have a first entry short. We're going to wait and see if we get a second entry short. I cover all of the strategies in my... I cover all the strategies in my school community, in the course. There's a nice second entry short forming now. It actually already triggers as a second entry short all in one bar, but we got to wait and see how it closes. Nope, doesn't close bearish enough. What's the Lenovo? Here, let me see if I can find you a... So, I'll show you the ones I like. Show you the ones I like. I like these. These are called the P series. These are called the P series laptops. This is what I think is my go-to vibe. What the heck? Why does the website look all janky? Hold on, let's refresh that bad boy. There we go. Dude, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, so These are the ones I like. I like the P series. I don't think they make the one that I have anymore. They changed them. But the P series are really nice. They're called like mobile workstations, and they're super strong. So like you can even get them with i9 processors now. Now I don't know how that goes with an i9 processor and a laptop, but I think mine's an i7. But you can get them with like a ton of memory. You can get them with like dedicated graphics. So I always say get a dedicated graphics card. So I think you want an NVIDIA graphics card on yours. And here, I'll just show you. So you want to have that. There's a couple of other things. What is this? AI. What do you want AI? Get out of here. And then usually, so yeah, usually you want dedicated graphics. Usually you want some pretty strong memory. I'd say go at least 32. I mean, you can go higher too, right? You can, if you really want to go higher, you could. I don't see the reason to for this, but you could. Processors. Well, you'd have to mess with it. But you see, like, these are pretty sweet, these laptops. And some of them are really strong. But yeah, anyway, P series is my go-to. They're like bricks, too. They're huge. These things are like bricks. Look at these things. Who doesn't want a brick? Look at that brick. Indestructible. Anyway. Sorry. I got carried away. Alright, Jarvis. You don't have the timestamp. Jarvis, tell me what indicators are on your chart. What indicators are on your chart? Because I only have one. So the first thing you'd want to do is remove all of them and then just put that on. Now, I have no idea why. Does anybody else using the Freedom Tools, do you have the date and time up there? If you don't, that would be weird. Should be there. Okay, so yeah, so I have no idea, Jarvis, why that would be happening for you. But install the new version anyway. The new version is available as of today. New version is available on the platform. It's in the it's in the classroom, usual section, section 2.4. So you'll see it on there, and all that. Oh, you sent me a screenshot. Oh, sweet. That's cool. So you got your yeah, so Jarvis just sent me a screenshot. I appreciate that. That looks good. I see that you got your rules going. Good to have those. You know, like, I think it's helpful, right? I've never really consolidated a list of all of them, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, Jarvis. That might be some setting that you have in NinjaTrader, because I don't know why yours wouldn't have that, but everyone else's does. I have no clue. That must be... Ask NinjaTrader support. Say, hey, like, I don't... Why isn't this showing up for me? They might have a simple solution to that. Here, I'll actually check real quick. I might have a solution too. Let me just do a quick search here on my other screen, and I'll tell you real fast. Hold on. It might be in the time and sales properties. So just check that. I'm not quite sure. All right, Jarvis, I'm looking at your list right now. Let me see. Are these the rules? Are these trying to be the rules for everything? Or are these supposed to be for the range or the trend? Because, like, if it's for everything, then yeah, there's probably some stuff missing. So, let me know. Do I think price... All right, so John, you were asking, do I think price often respects trend channels, bounce off top, downtrend, bounce off... I have no idea why they work, to be honest. I have no idea. Like, they just do. Like, I don't know. Price just tends to move inside. Like, I think it has to just do with mathematics, right? Like, if you look at just price as a line chart, it moves as a line. So a trend channel just makes sense because price is moving up and down within a line of where it's going. So it just tends to respect the levels because it's just the market efficiency. I don't really have like a reason, but really it doesn't matter. All we know is that it works. It's psychology played out on a chart and it works. Levels make sense, so you just go with them. Oh, nice, T. That's cool. Yeah, so you got the ThinkPad. That's great. Yeah, the P series is what's up. ThinkPad P series, they rule. All right, so Jarvis, let me look at your list, and I'm not going to share this on the screen, but I'll just look at it. Jarvis sent me a message in the school community, so I'm just taking a look. Okay, yeah, the second entry one is good. Short-term trend, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think another question is it a range or a trend, or is it a trend within a range? That's important. One question is, what kind of day is it? Is it a trending day or is it a range day? Because that also affects things. What was that? Let's see. If it's a lower high or higher low, has it already moved too far and played out the scalp? That's another one. I think that's probably good for now. I mean, you could always add to it over time as you hear more. I can't... Yeah, it's hard to just think of literally everything off the top of my head right there, but... Oh, nice. You got the yoga. I've never used one of those, but pretty sweet. I like the P series, but I'm okay with having a brick computer because I just don't mind. I don't mind. All right, so if you got questions, drop them in the chat. Drop the questions in the chat. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I just got to check on something. I'll be right back. I am back, everybody. I am back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, so John, you're saying Before you downloaded the new tool set, should I delete? No, you don't need to delete the current one. Basically, when you go to add it, it should just automatically, like, tell you that it's going to replace it. And then let me know how it goes, actually. If you're doing it right now, that would actually be pretty cool to hear how it goes, because then I'll know how it goes for people when they update. I'm going to get some incense going. All right. Get the vibes going in the office today. Get the vibes going. Guitar guy, welcome. Good to have musicians in the chat. When I place a trade, do I set a TP or do I enter with a stop loss and just close when you're in profit? No, I do both. I have a TP. So all right, so I trade. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. I didn't take any today, even though I had marked a bunch of trade setups and I was right about them. All these trade setups that I already went over, even though I was right about them, I didn't take any trades today because I had a bunch of stuff that I talked about earlier in stream going on that distracted me from the chart a bit. But so I don't want to demonstrate one necessarily just because of where we're at. I suppose I could show you on Sim. Let me see. Nah, I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you how to do it. So basically what I do is like this. When I'm going to enter a trade, like let's say I'm going to go long above this bar, right? Let's say I'm going to go long above this bar. I use a stop market order one tick above the bar to enter. So when it touches that, it puts me into a long. My stop loss automatically gets placed, but then I move it to one tick below the bar. And then depending on the ATR, right now it's high enough that I'd be going for, it looks like about 6 or 7 ticks. I'm going to scalp out like 7 ticks on some of the trade and then move my stop loss to break even and then leave a runner for the rest. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's pretty much automated. Here, I'll show you. Here's the ATM strategy that's on here right now. So here's a strategy of if you're trading with 5 contracts and you're going for 6 ticks, this is how it's set up. So 4 contracts are going to have a stop loss. It's just a random number, so 16 tick, but I'm going to move it to where it's supposed to go. It just places that on there. I'm going to scalp out 4 contracts for a profit, and then my profit, when it goes to 7 ticks in profit, it's going to move my stop loss to break even and leave the rest as a runner. Now, it'll set the take profit at 32 ticks as a random default, but I'll move it based on where I think it should go, and then I'll manually trail my stop on the runner. So it's sort of a combination of automated and manual. So hopefully that makes sense. The most important thing, though, is that my TP for my scalp is getting placed immediately by my ATM strategy, and I have a bunch of these that I use. A bunch of these based on how many contracts I'm trading with, what the volatility is. And that way I always have a limit order TP that automatically gets set. And that's really important to get filled on that limit order. That makes sense? All right, let me check that DM real quick. Do I have another DM? All right, I think we're good. So, everybody that's here, if you have not looked at it already, the Freedom Algo School community now has a 7-day free trial. So if you go here, it's $99 a month, but you get a 7-day free trial. So you can try it out, see if it's right for you. You literally get access to the entire community. So the only thing you don't get access to is my full price action trading course. That doesn't unlock until you're a full member, but you get access to everything else. You get access to live coaching sessions. Also, the Freedom Collective is after 90 days of being in here, after 90 days of being a full member. But you get access to live coaching sessions, so you can go watch those. You get access to the Start Here course, which has a ton of stuff in here, and including a 4-hour course. There's a bunch of stuff in here, so you can check this all out. You get access to all this, and the 4-hour course is really good. You get access to the entire community. You can join all the live streams. You get access to the calendar that has all the live streams. So that's all on here. Really good stuff. You get access to the community, so you can check this all out. You can go through. You can click into here, and you can see our entire day before we go live. So it's all in here. So check it all out. Let me know. Let me know if you got questions. Been good to see some new members joining in, participating in the chat. Good stuff. Alex, you missed a decent amount of it. I actually had a whole debacle where I started the stream earlier, then I had to close the stream and restart it. So it was a whole debacle, but we're all good. You can always rewind and go back to the beginning if you want on YouTube and everything. But good to have you here, fam. Good to have you. And glad that helps, Guitar Guy. Chris, right now, this trend line is broken, and we're heading higher. So right now, I don't care overall about like the daily chart that much. I just talked about it as a context thing. But for the most part, I'm watching these channels. So right now, this is an up channel. So I'm not looking for a short right now. If we come up to a key area and we get a nice short setup, like maybe one of these zones, then maybe. But I'm playing the short-term trend line. So I'd actually be considering longs if we get a nice setup. However, we're grinding on this side of this channel, so we could easily break through this thing and go right and start going short again. It looks like we might, so we'll see. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you are not one of the school members here. So if you haven't checked it out yet, let me know, because I'd love to answer questions for you. So if you have questions on what I do with the Freedom Algo school community and the courses and anything, if you have questions on it, feel free to ask. And again, you can just do a 7-day trial and get most of it answered there. But I'm happy to answer questions if you're wondering about it. So if you do have questions, put them in the chat, and I'm happy to talk about it. Let me know in the chat if you're not a member yet. Jerry, you're not a member yet? Okay, cool. Cool. If you've been following for a while and checking it out and everything, I want to let you know, like, I didn't have a free trial option, but I decided to implement that when the new features came out with school that allowed me to implement it in a way that would work for people. No, I don't mess with NQ, no way. I used to trade it a long time ago, but I only trade the ES futures. ES futures, 2000 tick chart. I stay hyper focused on that. I will say this though. I do have members of my community who trade NQ. So there are people who use my same strategies that I teach on NQ. And once in a while on stream, I'll bring up an NQ chart and show you exactly how these strategies work on NQ. Because everything I teach works on NQ, I just like trading the ES more. For a few reasons. That's cool, Chris. You just found me yesterday? Sweet. Welcome. Welcome. I live stream every Monday and Friday right now. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I live stream only for the members in the school community. The live streams that we do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are actually like more like a webinar style call. So it's actually real time. It's not through YouTube. So it's a little bit better quality, and also it's real time. It doesn't have that stupid lag that YouTube gives us. So it's pretty sweet, but that's how that works. And while you're on the trial, you can join those. Yeah, the reason I don't like NQ is because the volatility spikes are really rough, and also the margin cost is different. So with the ES, I only have to pay $500 to enter one contract. With the NQ, I have to pay $1,000. So I can literally enter with 2 ES contracts for the price of 1 NQ with my brokerage. And the volatility isn't worth it there because the NQ is not typically moving more than like, you know, and also the ES is worth more. So like $12.50 per tick. The NQ is $5 per tick. But the way that the volatility works out is that it doesn't really make sense because if I'm trading with twice as many ES contracts as I would with NQ, hold on a second. I got a call coming in. My bad. It was an automated call from the school, but I thought one of my kids might need something, so I needed to take that. Duty calls, you know, daddy duty. Daddy duty. But, oh, God. Sorry. Sorry for the cringe dad jokes. Cannot help it sometimes. It's a moral obligation. A moral obligation to be a cringe dad when you become a dad. Especially when you have 3 kids like me. So anyway, the NQ and the simple mathematics of it are like this. 1 point on the NQ is $20, right? Because it's $5 per tick, 4 ticks per point. So one contract moving 1 point is worth $20 on the NQ. It's worth $50 on the ES. So if you're trading with 2 contracts on the ES, 1 point is going to give you $100 of profit. If you're trading with 1 contract on the NQ, 1 point is going to give you $20. So in order to make $100 on 1 NQ contract, you need it to move a total of 5 points. So whereas with the ES, I only needed to move 1 point with 2 contracts. So the reason I'm saying this is that I would need the NQ to move 5 times the amount. It would need to have a volatility that is 5x the ES volatility in order for it to pencil out to the same amount of money made. Now, it does sometimes. Here, we can pull up. Here, let's pull up one. Here, I'll pull up an NQ chart. Give me 1 second. Here, let me hold on. Let me hide my screen for a second. I'm going to pull up an NQ chart and we'll just do the math on it. So we'll do whoops, I accidentally pulled up the September contract. Wait, let me pull up the December contract. I'm also going to change the tick amount to 1,000 instead of 2,000 because people don't realize this, but the volume of transactions is actually lower. It's actually lower on NQ versus ES. So let's see what kind of volatility we got on NQ. All right, so we're looking at an ATR around 19. So that's about 6x right now. It's about 5 to 6x. So they're basically around the same right now. So basically the point that I'm making is if I'm trading them both, I'm going to know, okay, if I'm going for 1 point of profit on the ES, then I have to go for 5 to 6 points of profit on the NQ for it to basically be the same strategy. Does that make sense? What the heck just happened with my music? Oh, it started a random part of that song. Okay, let's start that over. Whoa. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All right. Sorry, I was just answering a member's question from school. All right, so we're on NQ right now, looking at NQ. So you can see how big these bars are. They're huge, even on the 1,000 tick. And the reason I'm on 1,000 tick, like I said, is that the NQ, it has less transactions than the ES. So if you look at the ES, here's the ES. You see how many bars are right here in this move? What is this? This is 9 bars on the 2000 tick chart. That same move on the NQ, 8 bars on the 1000 tick. Because the ES has more transactions than the NQ. This is what people get this confused a lot. People say, oh, well, the NQ has more volume. No. I'm talking about the actual volume of transactions is way higher on the ES. Literally twice as much as the NQ. There's more people transacting on the ES than the NQ. The contract value is just really high on the NQ. And people get that wrong a lot. So that's why I say volume's higher on the ES. Because I'm talking about, I look at tick charts. I look at how many transactions are actually happening. Every one of these candlesticks on the ES right here has 2,000 trades, 2,000 transactions. Whereas on the NQ, every one of these has 1,000, and it still has less bars. So, look, man, I'm going to tell you straight up. I think the ES is superior to the NQ. I think the NQ can be good, and I think there is opportunity on anything that you want to trade that has volume. But I just think the ES is superior. That's my take. It also is less volatile because it has more diversity. It's not just tech. The NQ is 100 tech companies. The ES is 500 of the biggest companies in the US stock market. So, like, just makes more sense for it to be more stable. Not have as crazy a volatility. More predictable. If you're trading my strategy on the NQ, the same way that you have to go for a bigger take profit, your stop loss can't always go 1 tick above or below the signal bar. Usually I do more like 4 ticks above or below. If I was trading NQ, I'd probably make my stop loss something like 4 ticks. So like 1 point above or below the signal bar, because you get a lot of like weird wiki stuff on the NQ. It's just not worth it. It's just more stressful to trade. I just don't know like why people even bother. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Let me know in the chat, what do you think? I think that the reason that so many people trade the NQ is because they've seen YouTubers doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not popular to trade when I started trading. Like, everybody was trading the ES. Nobody even really talked about the NQ back in like back in like 2017, 18, 19. It was really around like 2021, I'd say, that everyone started switching to NQ, and now nobody trades the ES, or at least a lot of the newbies don't. But it still has more volume in transaction. All right, let me know if you got questions, because I'm going to probably wrap up here in a little bit. So let's see if you got more questions, and we'll go from there. So we got the closeout side of this channel. Move to a new high. Let's talk about the price action. Close outside, move to a new high. Here, let me close out of that NQ chart. Whoops. I don't want to look at that anymore. Oh, man, that's always... Look, no offense, but that can be the worst. That can be the worst. Like, the full port thing, like... Oh, good grief. I don't recommend the full port past the eval 1 trade thing. I just don't recommend. But hey, you do you. At least you make me laugh. I think everything that you do in trading, even on the simulator, affects you. So, like, that's why, like, sometimes you'll see me, here's the thing. When you're trading, you're building muscle memory and routine. So, if you do weird stuff on your trading evaluation accounts to pass them, in order to then go and trade your actual strategy on a funded account, you've already created a bad habit that you're probably going to let carry over into your funded account trading. So, yeah. Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Yep, that is true, Sean. Prop firms do push it. I've talked about this probably too much at this point, but I'll say this one thing. Because this is a prop firm thing that is really messed up. If you go to most prop firms, they're gonna... I've done this before on live streams. I'm not going to build out the whole spreadsheet, but I'm going to explain this real quick. If you go to most prop firms, they usually will tell you, okay, here's your account size, and here's how many contracts you're allowed to trade, right? That's what they'll tell you. So, like, let's just use an example. A lot of prop firms will allow you to trade with 10 contracts on what they call a 50K account. But the drawdown size is only 2,500, which is insane that you can trade with 10 contracts with that small of a drawdown. But anyway, the point is, they'll let you trade with 10 contracts. And they'll let you trade with 10 contracts on any futures market. So you could trade with 10 crude oil contracts. You could trade with 10 NQ contracts or 10 ES contracts. Here's the thing. I trade a cash account on NinjaTrader. On NinjaTrader, it's $500 for an ES contract. It's $1,000 for an NQ contract, right? So here's the thing that doesn't make sense. If I was going to trade with 10 ES contracts, it would cost $5,000 to enter that trade. If I was going to trade with 10 NQ contracts, it would cost $10,000 just to enter the trade for me on that account. So literally it's twice as expensive to trade with an NQ. So what are they talking about? Why do they let you trade with 10 ES contracts or 10 NQ contracts? The answer is simple, because they want you to blow up your account and buy a new one. Because you're over leveraging. If they were being true about their way of doing things, they would do it in proportion to the actual cash margin cost of the trades. So what they would do is they'd say, okay, your maximum allowance on a, really they would probably say on a 10K account, you wouldn't be able to trade with more than 10 ES contracts because it would be a 5K amount. And then you still need to have your margin amount to cover it. So the maximum amount they should allow you to trade on a 10K account would be 10 ES contracts and then 5 NQ. So if you had a 50K, the 50K account thing's a lie anyway, because you only have a $2,500 drawdown. So it doesn't even, none of it makes sense. They're just trying to convince people to over leverage and blow up their accounts. It's absolutely diabolical. In my opinion, it's diabolical. Like, it's marketing, right? What they should be saying is, when you trade with a 50K account that has a $2,500 drawdown limit, you shouldn't think of it as a 50K account. You should think of it as a $2,500 account, which literally means that it would be impossible with a $2,500 account to even take a trade with more than 2 NQ contracts on a real brokerage account. And if you did enter a trade with 2 NQ contracts, you might get liquidated because you only have $500 left in your account to cover. So in reality, if you had a $2,500 account, you can't even trade with more than 1 NQ contract without the risk of getting liquidated. And you can't trade without more than basically probably 2 ES contracts without some risk of liquidation, maybe 3 ES contracts. So it is absolutely ridiculous what these prop firms are telling people and how they're marketing themselves. Diabolical. It is. Now, however, you can use them in a smart way if you know all this, right? And people do it. People in my school community are doing that every day. And, you know, there's people getting payouts, having success with it. Personally, I just don't like it. So I just trade with my cash account. I dabbled with it. I didn't like it. I'm call me conservative, call me old school. I don't care. I like being old school and just trading with my cash account. And, you know, it's more simple. I don't got to think about a bunch of stuff. I just keep it simple and I like it. That's what I do these days. Yep, exactly. You know in the chat. Chris, here's the thing. Ask yourself, why are you trading MNQ when you could be trading MES? Why? Yep, exactly, Sean. He's trading a 150K account like it's worth $5,000 because that's his drawdown limit. So that's smart. That's smart. Most people won't do that. And it's because they've watched people on YouTube do stupid things. So that's the thing. That's the reality. You know, and I'm not trying to call other people out. I'm not trying to talk trash for no reason. Look, there's probably people out there having success with their weird prop strategies, but the reality is, like, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen that's totally irresponsible, that people do on YouTube and whatnot. And so I just, you know, call what I do boring. We like boring around here. We like boring. As traders, we like boring. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. If you like what I just said, hit that like button. All right. Had a quick question. Hey, Sean. Cheers, fam. Cheers. Sorry, I missed that in the chat. All right, let me see. Chris, you're gonna try MES. Yeah, I think that you'll like that. Give it a go. See what you think. Sean, I appreciate you. Chris, yeah. MNQ, yeah. NQ and MNQ. It's all a roll. That is a roller coaster. John, you ended up having to remove the prior toolbar. Set it. Okay. Without removing, you got an error. You don't believe you can upload a screenshot on YouTube, can you? Okay. Okay. I don't think so. So let me just, I haven't tried to reinstall it that way. So I'll put a note though. I'll put a note though in the course information. Let me see. I'm checking in the course just to see. So John, just answer me this. Did you? Okay, you also got the error. Okay, got it. Let me look on school and take a look here so I can see what's going on there. Okay, here's the error. Okay, got it. Okay, so that's annoying. But what did you have to do to fix it? Did you just have to do remove? Did you just have to do like the what's it called? Where you go tools, remove Ninja script assembly or something? How did you fix it? When you use remove. Okay, I'll just put that in the notes for people. Easy enough. I'll just put that. I'll put that in the notes for people. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Things can be a little finicky. So so I'll just put that in the notes in the classroom for people to take that step. So so let me go to it. Where's that? After you download it, once added. Now, okay, if you are updating and you still get the... Oh, I do have that in the instructions already. It says that right in there. In number 7, it says, if you're updating the file from an older version and you get an error, try the following. Go to NinjaTrader Control Center, Tools, remove NinjaScript Assembly, select any version of the assemblies minus the Windows input and remove them. Then restart NinjaTrader and attempt the import again. So I actually have that already in the instructions. Shout out your boy for being thorough. Shout out to your boy. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. It's Friday. Yep. Yep. Yeah, John, those are in the instructions already. It's in the instructions already. It's step number 7 on there in the instructions. So that's already in there. We already covered that. So we're good. We good, fam. Let me know in the chat. You guys see that? Want to make sure that my instructions are clear and make sense. Okay, so this is probably not the case. Close outside, 2 legs to a new high, possible reversal here. So I'm going to draw this like this. Yay or nay, fam? Is it all good? You see that? You see those instructions and everything? I just want to make sure that we're all good. Hang on, I gotta help somebody in the community with something real quick. Ah. Sorry, I gotta... hate when it does this. All right. Just wanted to help somebody in the community real quick. All right. Jarvis, let me know once you do that, once you follow that instruction. Pretty simple. It's all listed out in section 2.4. Just check step 7 and you'll see. Sometimes it gives us errors when we try to update things in there, and that's just how it goes. Yeah, guitar guy, don't trade against the trend. Sorry, I missed that comment before. And John, is it all working well for you though? Is everything looking good on your side? Curious. We just, by the way, everybody, I just released a new version, updated version of the Freedom Algo NinjaTrader Toolkit. So that's what we're talking about. We're just trying to work out any sort of possible kinks or whatever. All right, so clearly this thing wants to run. So we might have a spike in channel. To me, this looks like a spike in channel is forming, which you draw like this. That appears to be the what we have. And we'll zoom out. So clearly, downtrend. We finally broke through, and now we have a spike in channel. And we're coming up towards these key areas. And it appears to be a spike in channel. That's what I see it as. So we'll zoom back in. All right, good, John. Good, good. It looked good when I tested it earlier. It looked really good. So, yeah, I mean, in the new version, I didn't even update the toolbar. This is the same toolbar. I only updated the second entry aspect of the second entry leg counter indicator. That's all that got updated. So that's probably why, because it saw it as like a duplicate. But I didn't have a way to... There probably was a way that I could have just released that on its own, but I wanted to keep it all as one package. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate everybody for being here. Sorry for the snafus that we ran into earlier. I'll be back on Monday with another stream. It'll be at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. If you have not done so already, everybody here, check out the link in the chat. I'll put the link. Oh, wait, I don't have the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat right now. Check out the link in the chat. That is the Freedom Algo school community. It's right there. You can join the free trial. Get in there. See what you think. Give it a go, fam. Give it a go. Jarvis, I got no idea what that timestamp. You're going to have to ask Ninja Trader because that seems so weird that you're the only one who hasn't seen that. All right, so everyone, check out the school community. Check out the free 7-day trial. It's always a good idea to start these actually on a Friday, because then you're going to have Saturday and Sunday to start going through all the courses and materials and get yourself oriented. And then you can follow through Monday through Friday the entire week with the real-time stuff and join all the streams and everything. So it's a good way to do it, is to start these on a Friday, in my opinion. You'll have a lot of time. Tomorrow I have a video releasing. Tomorrow morning I think I have a video releasing on YouTube. That's like a more like of a psychology mindset type video. I'll also post about that in the school community. So we'll have a discussion around that in the school community tomorrow morning. So that'll be going on. This thing is still buzzing even on the weekend. So you'll have a lot in here. So if you're still here and you haven't tried it, definitely try out the free trial. Get in there. And everyone else, have a great weekend. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see everybody on YouTube on Monday morning. And then after that, obviously, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, streams are just for the school community. So do the free trial and get in on those. All right, I'll see you all soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care.